I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Reject Films, back with another review for you guys from Wild Eye Releasing. This is one I was kind of anticipating more than others. I saw the trailer to this a while back while watching something else released from them, and this seemed to be one of the darker, more serious movies in the group of movies that I got from them. So I was trying to hold off on this till I found the right time to watch it and everything. It seemed like one to definitely watch in the dark, either with some close friends or by yourself. And that's what I did, was watch this by myself in the dark. And the atmosphere of this movie was really creepy, especially for the majority of it. But that is for the 2017 release of The Sitter. Show the back here as well if you guys want to pause it and read the synopsis or whatever. And there is a short film on here as well for Nightland, which is like 11 minutes, 12 minutes, something like that. And that was actually kind of interesting. I'd like to see, you know, where the rest of that goes, a feature film on it. But this runs 142 minutes or 137 minutes if you go by IMDb, but it was 142 on is what my player said it was. So I will go with that. Show the inside is the same as the outside there. But a very atmospheric movie, very creepy elements to it, lots of noises and visuals. Kind of hits the artsy side at times, for sure. But just to run through it real quick, I'm gonna make this kind of a short review, as I don't want to spoil everything for you guys. If it sounds interesting and you want to check it out, I don't want to give everything away. But pretty much start out with this girl named Charlotte who's trying to get this job, house sitting slash cat sitting for this older couple. I think they're probably in their 70s, maybe 80 years old, at least the guy, who was definitely older in years there. So she gets the job after they interview a few people, and they're going to be gone for a few days, and she just has to, you know, keep an eye on the house, make sure the cat's taken care of and everything. And she's getting paid like really well to do it, which kind of throws a red flag there at the beginning. I mean, why would they be paying her, you know, this much money to stay at their house while they're gone? And she has full access to all of their wine and alcohol and anything she wants in the house and everything. But during the tour of the house too, from the main guy who owns the house, you do hear that they had a child, a son, who had supposedly died some years back. And just keep that in mind while you're watching this movie, that you know what really happened to the kid. You know, they never say like how he died or anything like that. So that's something to definitely keep in mind as you're watching this film. But yeah, so she takes this job, house sitting, cat sitting, whatever. Shortly after they leave, she starts hearing some kind of noises throughout the house. You know, she thinks sometimes it's probably just the cat, or it's, you know, an older house or whatever like that, which makes sense. You know, nothing to be alarmed about. But soon enough, she starts having these weird dreams where it gets kind of to the artsy part of the film in these dream sequences, where she sees this creature, and this creature has like, I don't want to say like obsession, but this creature has something for her, like feels something for her. And inside of these dreams are like other dreams. She wakes up quite often and then wakes up again. So so be prepared for dreams inside of dreams, and kind of parts of it reminded me of Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson, in those sequences where everything's just kind of, like I say, hits that kind of artsy side of things. And there is quite a bit of nudity in here as well with the main character, where you see like everything. Again, kind of reminded me of that. I don't know. I don't know if they were influenced by that film or what, but anyway, shortly after the dream sequence, she runs into some crazy weird guy in the woods while she's jogging, and then as she's leaving there, she's driving along and runs into a crazy woman, and the woman's telling her that, you know, he's found her and all this kind of stuff, and she doesn't really understand at the time what she's talking about, which you find out later on what's going on with these two. There's a point where her friend comes over, hangs out with her for a while. No real reason why. I mean, nothing happens during that time besides a point where the friend is telling her, you know, what if the child's not alive or not dead and he's alive and they're keeping him in the cellar and this and that, and she's trying to scare her. And you know, she's like, hey, I gotta sleep here, you know, stop telling me all this stuff. And more dream sequences occur. It definitely becomes a really sexual relationship between Charlotte and this creature inside of her dream sequences, which later on leads to her boyfriend coming over as she's just like freaked out by these dreams and dreams inside of dreams. Her friend kind of sends her boyfriend over to check on her as she can't get away from what she's doing at the time. And I'm not going to say exactly what happens, but something happens to the boyfriend, and these people in the woods come and take her away. But it's, you don't know if these are bad people or good people, or are they trying to save her from what is going on with this couple who own this house, or are these people just insane, or what? But you find out in the end their reasoning for everything. Like I say, I don't want to give everything away, but it definitely takes a turn at the end of this film, which, reading the reviews on IMDb, a lot of people didn't like the way the last act of this movie took place, but I kind of expected it as something I've definitely seen before. It deals with demonic stuff and everything like that, and is this child that they referred to at the beginning of the film, or is this child actually alive and they're trying to keep it a secret, or did this child actually pass away? You have to watch the movie to find out exactly what's going on, but it definitely revolves around this child. This whole film ends up coming back to that. Like I say, there's no real backstory to the character of Charlotte. There's no real backstory to any of them, really. We know very little about the boyfriend. He's mentioned here and there at the beginning. We don't really know anything about the best friend or whatever. We're just kind of thrown into this movie and expected to kind of know what's going on. That's the one thing I didn't like about this. Other than that, the acting was fantastic. It was shot very well. Very creepy vibes throughout the film. I watched this alone in the dark, and it was definitely, like I said, very atmospheric, very good camera angles and everything like that. Just gave you a real uneasy vibe throughout the whole film. Like, you know something is going on. You're not quite sure what. You do get to see the main character, like I say, naked throughout the film, which she's pretty attractive, so no problem with that. But yeah, this one was definitely expected, but yet not expected from what I saw from the trailer, which I will try to leave at the end of this review. I definitely recommend checking this one out if you guys are into movies with a good atmosphere and everything, and you just want to feel uneasy the whole time you're watching it. Like I say, the last act may not be for everybody when it gets to that point of it, but I don't really know where else they would have went with this film besides what they did. The main creature thing, it reminded me of something. I don't know if it was like, if it reminded me of the face of this creature, reminded me of like the Babadook or something like that. But something was like coming back to me as I saw this creature. Like, I know this creature from somewhere, like it looks familiar. But yeah, it was I enjoyed it overall. So I definitely recommend checking it out. Again, I mean, most of their titles are $10 or less at Walmart, or you can find them at Family Video for $5 or less, or something like that. So if you guys come across this for a decent price, definitely check this one out. If nothing else, like I say, the acting in it was fantastic. Especially, I can't remember his name in the movie. I think people in the reviews were calling him like Boris Karloff or something. Real deep voice, real, I mean, if there would have been more of him in this movie, it definitely would have stole the movie. But she did a great job as well, and I would definitely like to see more from this director, which was Simon Richardson, which I'll have to look and see what else he directed. But yeah, I will say, not to spoil everything, but something is looking for a way to exist in the real world. Something is looking for a way to yeah, live in the flesh again. What it is, I'm not going to tell you, but yeah, definitely, you know, like I say, I recommend checking this one out. I enjoyed it overall. It's no 10 out of 10 or anything, probably 6, 7 out of 10, just because, like I say, you don't get any backstory on anybody at all, which would have been nice, especially for a movie that runs 1 hour and 42 minutes. You know, they definitely had time to be able to tell you about these characters, and they used that time instead to just kind of pan through the house and give you a creepy feel. And I mean, I'm okay with movies that don't tell you exactly everything that's going on and leave you some things to figure out for yourself, but to have a little more information on the characters would have been nice. So yeah, that's it for this review, guys. Like I say, I definitely recommend checking it out. Definitely one of the better films I've seen from them over the last few that I've reviewed. It wasn't as fun as like Carousel or anything, but it was definitely creepy, well acted, well shot, well directed, edited, everything like that. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next review. Like I say, I'll try to leave the trailer here at the end if you guys want to check that out. And leave comments down below if you guys have seen this movie. I have one more to review from Wild Eye, and then hopefully get some more from them, and a couple to review from Warner Archive. I got a couple new titles in from them, so definitely keep an eye out for those. And yeah, take care. See you later. Bye.
Well, it isn't easy for us to entrust our house to a complete stranger. My wife and I are attending an event this weekend, and we're looking for the sitter to stay for 3 nights. Would that be any problem for you? Give yourself willingly.
Did you sleep well, child?